Hi guys, welcome to Grudy's Racing Resto. Yeah, some Morris stuff tonight. Right, so Zacco dropped off the 1275. This was the problem. This was the engine that was in that when it went to Sydney. Now, still got, Alan, that's how a hone's supposed to look. There's a little bit of shit in the bores. It's not perfect, but it's spent 2 weeks on its way back. Now, 2.5 mil. Right, so my verniers, .8, 3.5. 3.5. Right, so it's supposed to be 10 thou that way, 10 thou that way, which would give us half a mil. That would give us 2.8. That would give us about 3.2. So supposedly when you bore the 1275 block, you go this way, that way, and that way. Now, let me show you some of the other goodies that come back. And how shit the build was in the first place. 3 builds, and this is what just blows me away, this shit. Right. Now, I'm not an A-series specialist, but that's a small flange, and this thing came back with the 6.5-inch flywheel. Now, that's a 1275 rear seal adapter with some sort of weird-ass seal on it. The 1100 has a bigger flange, bigger flywheel, bigger clutch. This 1275 shouldn't have this crank. It should have a bigger end on it, but it's a 2-inch journal crank, so it looks like this has been turned down at some stage and maybe some holes re-drilled. I think if I dig enough, I will find some filled-in holes around here. So it looks to be an 1100 crank, which 73mm bore. I think the pistons are 73.5. Where are they here? So 1275 rod with a Mazda piston. Now, this is actually really funny. So Alan from Alan's Motor Engineering told me that the engine was all junk, couldn't be used. Now, the crank is really good. So I was like, okay, questioned it. Then that's been machined after it went to Sydney. So that's telling me, hold on. Okay. Engine block's been tanked. It's got a hone job on it, so the hone's pretty good. Now, block's been tanked. Bearings, cam bearings removed. Looks as if this was going to be rebuilt. So, what I've come up with is, yeah, look at this. Mess. So I'm going through all the parts that came. ARP head stud kit, nice. ARP rocker stud kit, good. This is stuff that was purchased for this engine. Neil was having a meltdown. Neil, there's your tap. There's your heater tap that you bought that didn't come back. Good performance oil pump, yada, yada, yada. Spline drive. The spline drive's actually in here. We have... I don't get this. This was the main bolt. Had to be drilled to be removed. Huh? Wasn't that tight. I can guarantee it wasn't that tight. And if it was, why don't you have a 3/4 gun to remove shit like this? Anyway, these are some parts that we'll be able to use in the new build. We have a 1275 head here. Now, all the bearings, all the rings, everything were removed to obviously either be reused or I don't know what. Now, I know this is Neil's head because of the orange, and I remember these rockers from last time I pulled a rock cover off. All right. Now, this head was 1275 big valve. So we're going to attempt to use this on the 1185 big bore. And what I'm going to do, because the chambers are actually 6mm deep, not 10mm deep like the small bore head, if these clear the bore, these valves, I'll use this 1275 head and I'll port it and I will open this right up and this will end up an open chamber head. Now, I'm going to go open chamber head because we want to get the compression to about 10.2 at the most. But if I go open chamber head, no quench pad, means I can run 2mm head gasket if I need to get the compression in the right spot. So being 1185 with a flat top 100th hour piston, we're looking at having to have a 28 to 30 cc chamber. So this head would have had 21.5, I think it is, but the head's had 40 thou milled off it. So this is probably down to 19 cc. So this thing was blowing head gaskets, not because of the 2mm in the middle, because, where is our verniers? Hold on. Now, what do we come up with? We come up with 2.85mm, 2.7 we'll say. Now, not far off what that is. So, anyone that's following along, this engine was poorly put together out of bits of this and bits of that. Had single springs, standard style cam with big compression. I reckon the compression with these dish pistons that it had, I think the compression may have been in the high 10s or low 11s, and I think this is why it was popping head gaskets, was the tune was so out of whack. Now, had a rear main seal, and I've cleaned this, adapter, and where is it? Oh, this is what it looked like. Anytime you pull apart the engine that's got that much goop, wait, gets better. Yeah, you don't want to use that guy. So this was prior to Alan touching it. Right, so we have duplex chain kit. Awesome. That was all brand new. So a lot of this stuff, this is what a lot of people got to realise. This has done 400 kilometres and popped the head gasket a few times. So I'll clean it. We're going to drill this hole into one of the bungs that I put in the back of the block on the 1100 block. We're going to run 1275 head gasket and we're going to try to attempt to run this 940 head, but I'm going to open this up to the 1100 bore line once it's out to 1185, and I'm going to bring this all the way out to the bore line, all the way around. I'm just going to do a big open chamber head. Yep, I'm going to do it, and we're going to put the 45mm Weber on it, and it'll run and make great power, and it won't ping, and it should run on 98 perfectly. That's the plan. Let's see if we can stick to it. We've got a few weeks before the sleeve gets here from America, probably another 4. We'll keep going. We'll see what we can piece together and we'll pick the cam that suits and go from there. And the aim is 60 kilowatts, triple the power. And we're looking from 60 newton meters, I'd like to make 120. I'd like to make double the torque, maybe 130 if we're lucky. Wish me luck. You have a good Friday night. Thanks, guys.